Well, I'm a lumberjack and I'm okay. I play my Fender most all day. No, I actually don't. I can play all the rest of the guitars instead. I play this now and again. Okay, so today, looking at the Helix tones. Looking at one that I put on to a recent video when I was demoing the difference between the humbuckers. I'm not sure if you've seen that. I'll put a link in the video. But anyway, I was asked about the tone. So what amp I was using in the tone, and I was using amps. Now, some people, this may be completely obvious. Some people may be doing this already, but some people obviously aren't. So I thought what would be a nice little surprise was to go through a patch that I used in that video for the filthy tones. So it's taking a sound that sounds much like this. And actually turning it into something a bit more like this. Yeah, so what we're going to do is I'm going to take a screenshot now of the tone itself, okay, and show you the difference. Now, so you'll have to bear with me with this because I'm going to be flipping back and forth between OBS. If there's a little bit of a in the background, ignore it. I'm certainly I'm trying to rectify, but until then, that's a problem. So that this is the tone, okay. So, what I've got here is, on the top line here, is a US small tweed. And that little weedy little sound makes such a huge difference. I'm using some custom IRs here, which I actually downloaded for free. I'll see if I can find out where I actually got them from, and I'll post them on there. But the IRs, the free IRs I downloaded, they were brilliant. There's hundreds of them. But anyway, yeah, so I'm using these custom IRs. It might just make a difference. It's in the stereo, so I'm just using the amps in the stereo here. Yeah, so I'm doing the breakout. I'll explain a bit about these a bit later on. But the crux of the matter is, essentially, it's made up of a US small tweed and the placator. So I'm going to swap now just to the mixing desk. So basically what I do is I go from the guitar straight into the Helix, from the Helix into a Behringer XR mixing desk, straight into OBS. All right. So, and this is what you're hearing is my live sound. Exactly coming out out of my my speakers for live. Okay, so what I'm going to do is you're going to see me swap between switching the different amps off and on, so you can see the difference of how they make, and then how they make the full end product. Okay. So, as you saw there, Just on its own, I know there's a bit of beef behind the applicator, but the difference that the little US tweed, small tweed makes to the clarity of the sound is huge, absolutely huge. I'm flummoxed by it. So let me go through it a second, okay? So it's starting off with a compressor, but the actual compressor I think I've turned off now on this. Yeah, this is it with. And this is it back without. So as you can see, the reason why I actually have turned off the compressor essentially is so I can roll back the volume on the guitar. Cleans up fairly well. Still stays nice and clean. And so yeah, because otherwise, when I'm leaving the compressor on, the compressor's just trying to do against what I'm trying to do with the volume pot. So yeah, so what I essentially do is I'll just leave that off. The overdrive is, where's it gone? It's the vital boost, so it's just basically a clean boost. Yeah, just on 5. Then you go to the actual nice and meaty greety parts of the amps. So there's my amps. I mean, rather than me explain through a million different things and making this video at 10 hours long, there's my settings for that. Just pause the screen. There's the settings for the small tweed. The IRs I'm using, and like I said, I'll try and put a link. Because it's been a long time since I downloaded them. I'll try and put these are the IRs that I use on this. But to be honest, with the new amps that you're getting from, the new cabs you're getting from Line 6, they're so much better now. So much better. Okay, then I'm using a noise gate. Could do a little bit more, but I think, to be honest, the history you're probably getting is a little bit of the problem we got from the mixing desk. So there's my noise gate. EQ, I'm boosting a bit of bottom ends on it and top ends. The reverb, so I'm using a dynamic hall on that, and there's my settings for that. And now basically I finish it off then with the volume pedal, so I can just use it for boosts, for solos and stuff like that. So, but yeah, so going back to this lot here, the difference that the little US tweed does. I know the applicator has got a nice, filthy, dirty, really JCM 800-y on steroids sort of sound to it, and it's an amazing amp on its own. But the actual the tweed, the little small Fender tweed, just adds the clarity to it. And especially when you're playing live, it cuts through so much better. If you listen to some of the videos by Helix, for a long time he was using his I think I'm not sure. I think it was an old JC 800. I'm not sure. You probably it's an old Marshall amp he's using, which was his barbecue grill amp. Might be actually, sorry, a JTM 45 or JTM 50, something like that. But then what he was also using was a Tone Master alongside it, or is the Evil Robot, which is basically a clone of a Tone Master. And he still does in a lot of his live stuff now. You'll use something like, I think he's using the oh god, not the Bogners, the Freemans now. But I think a lot of the time he actually still uses a little small 5 or 10 inch 10 watt amp alongside it, just to add that little top end to it. And honest to God, the difference, like I said, I'll listen. Cut me out in a second. So I'll play along. I'll play again. Yeah. So I'll go to each different amp, and then I'll switch back onto the both of them on again. Yeah, as you can see, it's just like night and day. It's just a simple little trick like that. It just, I said, for live it just makes such a difference, because it just cuts through. The other lad that I play with in the band uses the Neural DSP, but he uses more of a JCM 900, so it's a bit more of a top mid sort of sound to it. Whereas my end almost sort of complements the bottom end, but not the bass end, if you see what I mean. So between the three of us, we've got that, all the different ranges of frequencies covered, and the actual out front sound is amazing. So hopefully, yeah, that gives you a little idea of what to do, just to make that your live patch. Just try adding that a bit more of a treblier sort of sound to your patches, just to see if it gives you that little bit of definition. Okay, guys, plenty more where this coming from. As I said, there's going to be doing a lot more videos now. We've got a proper setup done. So until next time, I'm Lumberjack. No, I'm not actually. I work in a university. So catch you soon.